Okay, so this video is going to go over how to assess normality on a graphing calculator. So I'm just going to borrow the data that I used before. So this is my data set here that I entered into R. So I'm going to enter that data into my graphing calculator. So again, I'm going to press stat and then 1 for edit. And then I'm going to put all the numbers here in this list. I have some data in there from before. So if I just go up to list 1, press clear and then enter, it'll get rid of all the numbers. And I'm going to enter in the data from this list. So 3.9, enter, 7.2, enter, 5.4, enter, 8.5, enter, 5.7, enter, 7.3, enter, 6.8, enter, 8.2, enter, 8.3, enter, almost there, and then 6.1. Okay, and I can see that I've got 10 numbers entered in there, so that's good. Okay, now in order to plot these either as a histogram or a probability plot, we're going to have to go into stat plot. It's the blue lettering here. So if I do second and then press the Y equals button to get to stat plot, okay, we're going to turn the first stat plot on. So I'm going to say 1, okay, and I'm going to turn this plot on. So if it's listed as off, right, off will be sort of selected here, but I'm going to scroll over to on and say, yes, I want this plot on. There's several different types here, so I'm not going to go over all of them, but you can see that, you know, there's some box plot options. And then here, this option here in the top right, that's our histogram. And then the one in the bottom left, that's our QQ norm, or sorry, our QQ plot for our normal probability plot. Okay, so I'm just going to go over and do a histogram. So I'm going to select the histogram. And again, I want to use list 1. That's where I entered in the data. Good. So then you're going to press zoom. And zoom is going to allow you to actually plot this plot. So if you press zoom, oops, maybe I'll just clear this off. Zoom, there we go. And if you scroll all the way down, you're looking for zoom stat. So zoom stat, it's number 9. And so then you'll see that it creates this histogram. It's not particularly well labeled to even be able to tell what the bin widths are here, but it should be enough to help you sort of assess normality. The other thing that you can do is do the QQ plot. So again, if you just go into stat plot, so second, why not? And we'll go into our first plot just to edit it. So I'm going to go over and just say, I do want one of these QQ norm plots. Scroll over, there we go, and I'll select it. Okay, and I'll just leave everything the way it is. I tend to like, just to match up with what we have in R, if you check, do the data axis as being Y, that will make it look exactly like the way it looks in R. But it doesn't really matter because we're just assessing whether it follows a line. So, all right, so then we press zoom, okay, and then we're going to go down to stat, zoom stat again, and there we go. So there's our normal probability plot, that same plot that we would have saw in R. Again, we're looking for, if it is perfectly normal, the points would fall exactly in a straight line. In this case, they don't fall in a perfectly straight line, but you know, I'm seeing a pretty linear trend there, and I'm not noticing any weird patterns of the points, you know, being curved upwards or curved downwards or trailing off on either end. And so I'm feeling okay about assuming that these 10 data points follow a normal distribution.